Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back once again to another episode of TekTopia, where last time we built this, and as you can see there's actually some more nomads in that top window up there going down our staircase. For whatever reason, that is now the spot they always spawn in. Very strange, but cool to see them using the staircase functionally and not getting stuck like I hoped they wouldn't. And yeah, there they are right now, coming from both sides. Oh no, that's the merchant, not the nomads. Anyway, that's cool. This, as I was saying, is what we built last episode. Some villager apartments to house over 100 villagers. I've forgotten the exact number, but it's a lot, and you guys seem to really like this build, so thank you for the great feedback on that from the last episode. This time, we're going underground. And what I mean by that is we are going to be making the mines in today's episode, which really has never been too much of an issue in the previous villages that we've done because, well, in the previous villages, we haven't been surrounded by water. This causes a little bit of an issue, but it's one that should be fairly simple to get around. In theory, we actually don't have to get rid of this water at all. The miners would simply surround the edge of the mine shaft with cobblestone, but that will look really ugly for one and will take the miners like 10 times longer to go mining than it would if we actually went underground. So basically, the plan is to drain most of one of these platforms all the way down to the seabed, and then that way we can just go underground. So we'll kind of skip the water level and they'll just be in the earth below. So obviously I've got to fall down into my storage room and grab myself my sponges, which I don't actually know where they are. I'm assuming my valuables chest, considering they are a very valuable item. Yes, here they are. So I'm going to dry all of the wet sponges here, and then I should have enough to actually drain the area that we're going to be using for the platform, which won't be the whole area entirely. Pretty much if we actually just take a fly on up here and I can show you what we're going to be doing. It's unnecessary to actually drain the whole area here. We basically need to just have a circle big enough to build a cool laser drill, which we'll do later on in the episode, which I'm really excited to show you, but also have a staircase and just a couple of other things. So it doesn't need to be this whole area, so it's not going to be a massive task, but just a slightly smaller circle all the way down, as I said, to the seabed below. Clearing this thing out was so much quicker, so much easier, and so much more enjoyable than the time we cleared this entire thing out at the start of the city project. Honestly, in comparison, it felt like nothing. It was actually fairly enjoyable to do. But yes, we now have our big old hole in the ocean ready to do some building in and start work on the mines. But before we do that, I have something to ask you guys. So you would have seen in that time lapse when we were doing the clearing with the sponges, I sectioned all of the little areas off using gravel, and usually I would use sand, and that's because when you break gravel with a torch using gravity like most people do, it's just much quicker. You sometimes get flint like you would if you broke gravel without a silk touch shovel, and I thought, oh no, I've messed up here, I'm gonna lose out on a bunch of gravel and just get a bunch of useless flint. And I placed down over a shulker box worth of gravel down there. How much flint do you reckon I got back? I would have said, you know, over a stack, maybe even a couple. No, 3. That's it. Only 3 flint. I really did think it was going to be a lot more than that, but no, not at all. Anyway, we're now ready to start building. Actually, no we're not. We have to do a bit of digging first of all. We're still at the water level here, and obviously if they started having mine shafts, they're gonna end up drowning, and I want to avoid flooding at all costs. So I'll probably take this floor down by maybe 5 to 10 blocks and just gets well out of the way of any sort of wetness. And that's when we can start work on the actual mine shafts and just get the functionality aspects of this build all done. So maybe the staircase that leads down here as well, and the actual mine shafts themselves. And then after, we can start work on the cosmetic build. So a system to pretend to get resources up and down, some sort of like chain lift rotary system I've got in mind, and also of course the laser drill up the top. These are some incredibly dim sea lanterns. They are providing no lighting whatsoever, except a little bit over here from something. I'm wondering if I can like cause a domino effect and update all of these. No. Well, partially anyway. I hope this is not another lighting glitch that's going to be permanent. The last one we had sorted itself out. I haven't seen it again since, but yeah, I don't know how this can actually happen. This is a pretty large lighting glitch, but there we go. That's updated them all. Back to building. So we are still without a staircase at the moment. It's going to be going in one of these tubes right here, but as you can see, some good progress has been made. We've got these two things built, one of which is going to hold the staircase, as I said, and the other will hold the cosmetic build, in that we're, going to be transporting all of the ores up. It's not going to actually move at all. There's going to be no item transportation, but it's just a cosmetic build, and we'll have to use our imagination a little bit. So yeah, we've got these two things built up, and I've also added in our mine shafts, which are just behind these nether portals, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, we've got 15 of these on either side, and they're kind of all set up and ready to go, with the exception of the item frames above them. And we've got 15 on each side, so 30 in total, and we can very easily expand more if we need to, but that should be fine for now. So why is there a nether portal here? In fact, why is there two of them? Well, first of all, I actually needed a nether portal set up over at this city. I've just been flying back to other places whenever I need resources, and I just thought, hey, let's just set it up here, because my thinking is, it doesn't really make sense to have the miners actually going mining. This is a futuristic city, and it's going to have a massive laser drill at the top. It wouldn't make sense to see the miners going and swinging their pickaxe, so I kind of wanted to cover up the mine shafts as best as I could. So we're going to pretend this portal, and get this, we're going to pretend this nether portal is a portal. And it will take them to another dimension where they would then, go mining for ores if need be. But the main part of it is going to be taking place with our laser drill up the top. Now, I know some of you are going to be thinking, hang on a second, Marlo, entities will go through a portal as soon as they touch it. Correct, they do. Not villagers though. I tested it in my creative world and they just walk right through it, so we haven't got to worry about that. And if it does seem to be a problem, well, we'll just get rid of them. I'm not really that attached to keeping them. I just kind of wanted to cover up the actual mine shafts, because to me, it didn't make much sense when we're going to have a big old drill at the top there. Which is actually what we need to start work on now, as well as our staircase and our ore transportation system, which is going to make a whole lot more sense once it's actually built up, I promise you. So they're going to be going in the tubes, as I said, drill up the top, and then we'll probably do something down here with the floor, maybe related to our rotary system. I'm not really sure just yet. Going to have to figure it out as I go. Oh, buddy. that is quite the laser drill, and it's looking pretty cool if you do ask me. I'm quite proud of it. I think it looks pretty sweet. So I've tried to build this whole thing so that it looks like it would function. I know in a real life situation, none of it would actually work. You got to use your imagination a little bit, but let's have some fun with it here. So we of course have our control panel at the front where the person in control of the laser drill would stand and, well, control it on the panel. So we have our button here to power up the laser drill, and then this actually turns on the laser off and on, and then we have our joysticks, I guess. Might need something a bit more technically advanced, but yeah, we're going with joysticks here to can actually move the laser, you know, back and forth, forward and back, left and right. I just said the same thing twice there, I believe. But you can sort of see we have this grid formation at the top here, and I'm thinking that's how the laser would actually, you know, move around. Don't look too much into it because those cobblestone walls actually block it from moving, but yeah, use your imagination, as I said. Maybe the laser can actually change direction a little bit. Possibly the end rods have something to do with it. Who knows? So yeah, we have that, and of course our pillars looking pretty cool. I like that design very much. Looks super futuristic. Holding it up, which is you know, pretty beefy pillars. That's quite the laser drill. I'm imagining it's very heavy. And then obviously we have our staircase, which is how the miners will get all the way down to the bottom and back up to the top. And as you can see, our laser is actually cutting the stone down below, but we'll come back to that later. I guess we can talk about what's going on here. So this is our conveyor belt system, how the ores would actually get all the way up to the top from being collected down at the bottom. It's very dark here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to need to light the back of this up. I thought I was good with the end rods, but apparently not. Okay, no creepers around. We're fine. So we have this conveyor belt system going all the way up and all the way down, so on and so forth. And you can kind of see we have these platforms here. These are upside down because it's going, you know, up and then down, so obviously nothing can be carried here because, well, it's going downwards. It would just fall down to the bottom, scoops up the ores at the bottom and brings them up to the top, and then they're then put on another conveyor belt system up the top. And this is actually a little bit all inspired by Good Times with Scar's Big Dig project. He had another thing of like a similar concept but on a lot bigger scale, so that's where I kind of got the idea from. But as you can see, the platforms would then go over the top of this thing and head back down to the bottom, and obviously when they go up to the top they'll be completely vertical and all of the ores will fall off into this conveyor belt, signified by these observers here, making use of the arrow texture on the top of them. Or the side? No, I think it's the top. I guess it's directional. And then they are then pushed onto this area, and I still have to think of what we're going to build here, because at the moment that would just cause a big pile up of ores. So I'm thinking maybe I'd come and, you know, come up with some sort of futuristic cart design, and then it can be taken off to the smelter maybe when we do eventually build that. But yeah, that's what's going on with the conveyor belt system. And then if we just hop down to the bottom here, a creeper must have got hit by the laser. Nah, just kidding, that's probably me who's thrown that down here because I'm a little bug. Don't judge me, I just don't want it in my inventory. So yeah, we got the laser down here actually cutting the stone with some fire, because, you know, this thing gets very hot. Ow, don't touch it, dangerous. But no, the fire really is just there to provide some lighting. Obviously we really don't want mobs spawning down here, so I had to figure out some way to light this up, and obviously there's not like half smooth stone slabs currently in this version of the game, 1.12. That was a 1.14 thing, so I thought fire was the best way forward to make it mob proof. The sea lanterns help with that as well. And don't think too much about how the ores actually get, you know, from the quarry itself to this little section. I definitely haven't put anything in there just because, you know, didn't have enough room and couldn't make anything look good. That's not it at all, I promise. It's definitely because it's just really, you know, technically advanced. If I did tell you, the futuristic aspect of it would probably just blow your brains, so I'm trying to keep you safe. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's why there's nothing here. So that, for the most part, is the mining area all done, with the exception of a couple of things. Obviously, we have to figure out what's going on over here at the end of our or a conveyor belt system. We also have to put along our quartz slabs going all the way along the edge of the white concrete here, and we also have to figure out what we're going to do with these pathways. Probably just make them a bit wider, because obviously when the miners do come across here, this is a little bit too treacherous, and I do not trust villagers for knocking each other into the water. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to make these a little bit villager proof, because I mean, I nearly fall off them. Villagers 100% would, and I don't think they can swim. Which makes me think of a possible flaw in our city here. We should maybe be bringing this outside block up by an extra one, because let's take the pathways for example. Villagers like to take the fastest route from A to B, so they will probably hug the sides of this depending on what platform they're going on next, and honestly they'll probably just walk on the actual edge of it. So I'm thinking if we brought it up by another block here, maybe using white concrete or possibly light blue, and then had the quartz slab, they can't get on top of here, and that would reduce possible falling off via another villager trying to push them into the ocean. I'm sure it'll be an accident, but I can just see that happening. So at some point, maybe not today, because that's going to be a pretty big task, I think. I'm going to have to go around and expand all of our platforms up by an extra block on the outside. I can just really see something going wrong there. Oh, don't mind me, just placing in some blocks underneath all of the farmland here, just in case our farmers till it and fall through the world. Someone told me that in the comments could be a possibility, so I'm taking their word for it here and placing blocks underneath all of the crops that we have on the surface. Now I'm underground mining for iron, because I have used up all of my iron supplies as well as all of the iron in the previous villages, and I need more iron trapdoors. So yep, this is my life now. Really feels like I've been set back a few years, going from building this futuristic city to being underground mining for iron with a pickaxe. I know I said less than a minute ago I wasn't going to be raising the height of the platform edges. Well, I lied, because I've done it here, as you can see. On all of our finished platforms, they have been raised up by an extra block. Just went with some white terracotta. I thought it looked better than the light blue. I tested it out and yeah, just wasn't working the other way around. So they're a bit chunkier now, but I do think it's going to help in the long run when it comes to villager safety, which is a high priority in this village, even more so among the others. But I've also done a couple of other things. As you could see, I went mining for iron, and I also did some other stuff, but like changing the pen sizes here so we can actually accommodate for the pathway that leads through. And of course, I've done some stuff over here. So as you can see, we actually have some sort of system in place now for transporting the ores. So all of them still get chucked onto this little platform here from the conveyor belt, where we now have some stone buttons included. Now these have a functional and cosmetic use. Obviously the functional is to stop mob spawning. As you can see, some of these light levels, oh, you're in the wrong spot, stone button, are light level 7 and it's spawnable. So I had to put a stone button there to stop that from happening, and also, well, they just look like little pieces of rock, right? Which would probably fly off from getting chucked about on that conveyor belt treadmill there. So yeah, they all get powered up here. Then our crane lifts them onto our hover crates, I guess is what we're calling this thing, or cart I should say. Now, I went through a couple of different designs of what I could do with this. Originally, I tried to come up with some sort of hover car and eventually ended up just looking like a whale, kind of. And then I thought, hey, let me try some hover bikes, and I went through a couple of different iterations of those, but I didn't really like them too much. So instead, we've gone with sort of a hover pallet, shall we say. They kind of just get loaded on here, and they're slightly hovering above the ground. Not really, but use your imagination as always. And then we got our handles here to either push or pull them. And we just got another one over here, but don't pay too much attention to the actual size of them in comparison with the pathways, because they don't fit. But this is a futuristic village. It's a hover cart. They can just fly over to wherever the smithy is actually set up. It's not that big a deal. So with the mining area fully complete, we are now ready to start getting some of the first villagers in our new city, or we'll start calling them citizens. At least I'll try. I still haven't fully got on board with the village and city difference, but I'll get there eventually, guys, don't you worry. But before we do that, I have a bit of a proposition to make you guys. So we've done 4 different villages already in this series. We're on episode 80 something, I'm not even entirely sure, but but I've spent a long time doing the TekTopia grind, and by that I mean getting emeralds through trading with the merchant. I've played his game long enough, I feel, and I don't really want to do it anymore. So what I'm thinking, and we won't do it for a couple of episodes here, but as long as you guys are okay with it, I may actually set up just like a vanilla villager trading hall with the normal villagers, which you can get in this world. Obviously we have one in Eriduine, but I'm talking a lot more than that, and obviously setting up some farms so we can actually trade for emeralds and kind of just forget about the merchant. So yeah, truth be told guys, I don't really want to have to trade for emeralds anymore. It's become a bit of a nuisance after doing it 4 times for over 80 episodes. I'm kind of over it at this point. So let me know guys, would that completely ruin the series for you or something like that? Because as long as the majority of you are okay with it, I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. Whether we use it just in this city or forever in this series, I don't know. We'll see how it ends up. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you think about that. So from where we set up the town hall a few episodes ago, I of course got my free 2-person home token as well as a lumberjack and farmer profession here. So I think just for today, we're going to stick to those 2 villagers, and next time we can hand out some more hopefully. Maybe get some miners and make sure everything is working over there. I think it will. We'll find out next time. But let's just place down our first home token. These are 2-person homes. What do? Left, right? Left, right? I don't know. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go with this one. Well, thank goodness it works. I don't know why it wouldn't, but there we go. We have 2 yellow beds ready for 2 villagers, but unfortunately, the sun is going down as you can see, so I'm going to have to wait till morning, find some nomads and hand out these 2, and get the first 2 villagers in our city here. Very exciting. The sun has risen, I'm on top of the town hall here, the merchant has spawned in over there just now, and I gotta wait for the nomads. I think I see them, yes I do, there they are in the window making their way down, and funnily enough, there appears to be just 2 of them, unless there's some more on that side. Let's go check out who we got. Well, hello friends, what are your names? We have Amory Goldrudder, very cool name, good intelligence too, and we also have Luther Roxley, also a very cool name. I think we're gonna give the first token out here to Amory. You're professional in a bard and a chef, none of them really suit, so you can just be the lumberjack. Amory, please come back. So there we go, our first citizen in this city, Amory Goldrudder, and the second here is Luther Roxley. And there we go, there's a look at some of the new villager skins that we're using this time round. Well, there goes Amory, hopefully to chop a tree as well as a chunk full of leaves in one go. Did you guys see that? Wasn't aware they could do that, but hey, I guess that's better than them just getting stuck behind it. Where is Roxley? Was that his name? I've kind of forgotten already. I don't even know which section the crop farm is at. I think it's over here. Hopefully he's farming away. Yep, there he is. What has he chosen to farm? He's chosen some potatoes. That is probably smart. In fact, I'm going to make you, I think, just do potatoes and carrots for now. That way the villagers will have a food source, and wheat and beetroot don't really help too much with that. Excuse me, Luther, not Roxley. I'll refer to you as your first name now. I have something to ask you. Oh, sorry, take that back. Why have you messed up my dirt already? You've been here minutes and you're already wrongdoing. I'm just kidding. I won't take it against you. You're planting potatoes back. You're doing a great job all around. Where's he off to now? Maybe some carrots? Ah, he's doing great. How is Amory doing? Let's just go check up on him quickly. Did he replant the tree? He did. That's great. He's obviously dropped off the stuff in the storage room, so we know they're using that very well. And he's on to the next tree. Ah, that is awesome to see. Everything is working as expected so far. I was worried there was going to be some major flaw with something like the storage and they weren't going to use it, but nope. I think we're all good. So anyway guys, that is where we're going to end off today's episode. I really hope you did enjoy watching. Thank you ever so much for doing that. And I hope you're looking forward to next time where we're going to do something. I'm not sure what just yet, but we'll be getting some more villagers and having some fun with our city. Here with Amory, as well as Luther, and our architect and tradesman, and of course the merchant. Even though I plan to make him absolutely pointless in this series. And yeah, again, just let me know guys what you think about that whole situation that I mentioned earlier. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.